Hey guys, welcome back to KY Coins and Collectibles. And what I've got here is another little coin collection I picked up today. I love showing y'all some of these collections that I get because you never know what you're going to find, what's going to walk in, or somebody's going to call you and say, "Hey, I've got this collection. I want you to look at it and see if you want to buy it." I get calls at least once or twice a week, or somebody hits me up on Instagram or somewheres and they want me to look at a collection, or somebody just knows me personally and they know I do this. So somebody's always trying to show me a collection, and this one I bought some today. Uh, and honestly, this one ain't bad. It's a very small collection. You can see it here, and this is pretty much how it came. Uh, in two little Ziploc bags, and I'll run through this really fast. Uh, Most of the time, people tell me, "Man, I've got this huge coin collection I've been collecting for 20, 30 years. I've got a bunch of nice silver." And then when they bring it in a little box and two Ziploc bags, and that's it. To them, that's a big collection. They've been collecting for a long time, but it's really not in my eyes, and maybe some of your all's. But to them it is, and I try to be nice about it, and just I know they've probably spent time and money accumulating this, or it may be sentimental, maybe their grandfathers or handed down. So you got to be very nice and respectable, uh, and just be nice to people because you don't know who this come from or what they did to get it. But a lot of times they're just smaller collections, and I mean, you can see here this would all just fit probably in one hand. But to him it was a big collection. He did have a little more, like another bag, and honestly it was newer stuff, like newer Kennedys, Sacagawea dollars, bicentennial quarters, uh, uh, Susie B. Anthony dollars, and some $2 bills that were new. And he just thought he had a nice little coin collection, and he had a bunch of quarters from the year he was born, and it was just his little collection. So you got to be nice, and you got to just talk to him and be nice, and treat him like a human. Of course, be nice to everybody, because you don't know, like I said, where they got it from. It has a lot of sentimental value to them, and they spend a lot of time collecting. So you don't really want to insult people with their collection. And to them, this was a lot. So I loved looking through it, and I liked the interaction with other people because everybody's coin collecting journey is different, and they have different stories. And that's, to me, is one of the best part about collecting. I love the silver and the old coins. I like the stories and the camaraderie that it brings with me, and me talking to other people that coin collect. So that's why I love the comments. Like, if y'all, I love hearing about everybody's coin journey. Uh, I mean, these people born in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, in the 70s and stuff, coin collecting got pretty big. So, and whenever they done away with the silver, people hoarded it up a little bit. So there's a lot to it, especially the older gentlemen, and honestly, they're the best to talk to. I love the newer guys that are collecting, but when you talk, there's a big difference between talking to a guy that is 70 or even 50, 60, 70, and 80. It's so much funner talking to these guys. These gentlemen, they've been there. They've been around the block a few times. They've seen money go from silver to what it is now. They have better stories. They've collected a lot longer, and it's just so fun talking to them. The new guys are too, and I'm 36, so I can't really say much. But I come across younger people, 20 and 30, and they don't have much of a story to tell. It's, oh, I bought this, or grandpa gave this to me. So no offense, I'm not saying I don't like talking to you guys, but the older guys have better stories, and you know what I mean. But people my age, just like, they just say, oh, this was Papa's, or this was my dad's. So, I like talking to their Papa's and their dads because they have a lot better story. But anyways, this guy brought this in. He knew I collected, and he wanted to bring it by. He brought it by in a little box, and I opened it, and immediately I just kind of seen the same thing that I always do. Ike dollars, some one or two silver, a bunch of foreign, some newer stuff that honestly you could go to the bank and say, give me 2 or 3 bags of, and you could find half the stuff. So I'll show you without further ado. Let's go with the bills first. He did have an older $100 bill, and this one is a 93. So it's not the best shape. It's got some markings on it. Somebody wrote 1300. A little triangle. That one actually might be a stamp. I'm not sure, but it's not bad. I like these older bills, so I do collect them. And I'll tell you what I gave for all of it. Silver certificate. There's always a silver certificate, and this is an actual 57A, and it's not bad. It's dirty, but it's not too bad at all. And he had a nice $5 bill. These silver $5 bill, and this is actually a 34D. So this one's pretty nice. And he just had it in this Ziploc. So he said it's been in here for probably 20, 30 years. He said he don't even remember putting it in there. So that one's actually not bad. And they don't have the In God We Trust on it. So, like I said, I'm not really a big currency collector, so I don't really know a lot about bills yet. But that one's in decent shape. I don't see any excuse me, any holes in it, but it's got some creases in it. So that was neat. We looked up some prices, and for the rest of it, I kind of knew what most of it was. He didn't have any silver dollars, and I told him that's really what I like. He said he might have some home in his safe. This was stuff just in his closets. These were all Ike dollars from the 70s. And he had told me his papa had saved up some of these, or his dad had saved up a bunch of these. So that was really neat. And he had told me his papa had some of this other stuff. So, and a lot of times, and when it's handed down from generation to generation like that, a lot of times they don't want to sell it. But he just said he didn't have nothing to do with it. Kids didn't want it, and he was just wanting the extra money. So I was like, we'll make a deal. He was very happy. I was too. So a couple Ike dollars, nothing special. And everybody thinks the Ike dollars are worth $10, $15, $20. A lot of people think they're silver. They do make some silver ones, but most of them are clad, and you can tell by looking at them the clad in it. But these are just common. I think most of the time they're $1.25 to $1.50, $2 if you can get that out of it a piece. I'll save this for the last. I'll show you that. I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to get that off of them, something different. And here, so this was really all the silver and the nicer stuff in the collection that I wanted. And like I said, I'll tell you what I paid for everything at the end. I went through his little box and picked these out. He had some wheat pennies, and let me see here, 58, 56, 53, 54, and 58. So later wheat pennies. Had a couple buffaloes. Had 4 buffaloes. This one looks like it's been polished. 36. That one's wore off. Might be in the 20s, so it might be a little better date. 37 and 36. So most of the buffaloes I find are 36s or 37s. A nice silver quarter, except it's got nice luster on it. Like, it actually looks really nice, but looks like somebody had pinched it, clipped it in the corner here like a pair of pliers, but still silver. A V nickel, 2 mercuries, a silver dime, a war nickel. I believe there was only one war nickel, and it is a 44. And there was a 53. I guess I just got it too. Nothing really special about that nickel. A nice silver dime. It's a 62. A foreign. This one's silver. It is a 1954. I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty nice. I can't read it, and I don't even want to try to butcher it, so I'm just going to show you. But you can tell it's silver. V nickel, 1907. So I believe this would probably was some of his pawpaws back in the early 1900s. A steel 1943 wheat penny, 2 mercury dimes, a 44 and a 1940. Not bad details left on it. Another rosy 1950. Some dark toning on it. And this one, I was surprised he had a Standing Liberty quarter. And I've not seen many collections have Standing Liberty quarters. And this is a Type 2. And I cannot make a date out, of course, because every other Standing Liberty quarter I have is dateless and smooth, but really neat. And a capsuled 1968 Kennedy, and it's actually pretty nice. So that's a 40%er, and this thing was really cool. And I had seen these on some YouTube channels. It is a like Lucky Charm pretty much, and it says souvenir, Washington D.C. Keep me and never go broke. Good luck. So it has a 1929 wheat penny or wheat cent. So that was really cool. I just thought that was really neat. I love little trinkets and souvenir type things that have currency in it, especially a little more collectible ones. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not a huge collection, but for this gentleman, it was. He's very happy about it, and he wanted to show it off. And again, a lot of times this is what people bring me, and I kind of just sift through it and get some of the better stuff out of it. And I tell them I can, if they want me to buy the whole thing, I will. But a lot of the other stuff is newer, modern, more face value stuff. And I just kind of tell them, like, if you want to keep this for another 10, 15, 20 years and hand it down, you'd be better off. So sometimes they do that, and I try to get the stuff that I want that fits my collection. And I just tell them the other stuff doesn't really fit my collection. If you want me to buy it, I'll make you a deal. But for the most part, it's face value. And so this is a set that I got. And this is pretty much it. This is a small collection. He just collected as he seen it, and a couple things have been handed down from his family. And it, like I said, it was in a little box, like just that big, like a old school money box. He did have this in there, and I thought it was really cool. And he didn't really know what it was. He thought it was an old coin, and he couldn't remember where he got it. He thought he had found it out walking one day, but you all know what it is. You see the little shank and the eagle? It's a U.S. Army button, and this is actually the first one I've got. He said he found it, and you can tell it's got some green on it, so it's been in the dirt, but it's pretty nice. It's got some good details. I looked it up. I'm not big on I like to metal detect, but I've not been out in a while. I looked up some details on it. It's the U.S. Army, and it looks like it's around World War One, so around like 1920s is what I seen. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, or if I'm wrong, just let me know. But you can see the little shank on it right there, been pressed up, and it's been flattened. Yeah, from what I seen, it was a U.S. Army 1920s button. So really cool, especially him finding it here in eastern Kentucky. That's really neat. So that's awesome. That's really it, guys. There's nothing crazy, special, expensive. The $100 bill, I pretty much just gave him $100 for it. I told him it wasn't that old. I gave him just a little more than $100, and basically just changed him out money. And I gave him a little more on the coins to make up for just not, instead of giving him a $100 bill for a $100 bill, I gave him a little more on this. On this stuff, I did $50. I know he got a good deal. There's a few things in here. A lot of it, I know he got a really good deal, and I wanted to help him out. And I think I paid him a little more for it being sentimental, and I just wanted to help him out. And a couple of the things I just kind of wanted, like the button, the bills, I know they're not really worth much more than face value, a few dollars over, and these, a few dollars here, $3 or $4 here, $8-9, another $5, couple more dollars, and I pretty much just gave them, I think, about $5 for this and that, and it ended up, I was like, I can work on that, I can do that. And so, and he said he would try to bring me some of his other stuff. So if people have other stuff, and that's kind of what I'm getting to, I'll pay a little more to help him out. And he had told me he had some other stuff back home in his safe that he hadn't dug through yet, that he was going to give me opportunity to buy. He said he thought he had some Morgans. He thought he had some more silver half dollars. So by me paying a little more, he knows that I'm serious, and he'll be a little more enticed to bring it to me, and I may get a little better deal on the other stuff. So I do pay really good for my stuff. I know I probably overpaid, but he's going to bring me more stuff, and he said he knew a couple people that he could tell that had some coins. So the word of mouth is going to be worth its value that I paid for this. So it really helps. You got to think about that, not just paying for what you get. If an individual has other contacts with coins that they can bring you to them, you may get a better deal on the next deal because you helped out on the first deal. So just keep that in mind. But there it is. Like I said, that's pretty much your standard collection that I come across, and I've showed you these other collections before, and that's really it. Like, there's not a lot of special hard items in these small coin collections, and it's hard to make any money on buying small coin collections. And now I'm going to have what I've spent on this collection tied up in what I've got in front of me, and I may have to hold on to it for a while to make my money back in the later years, but that's kind of what I plan on doing. I'm going to hold this stuff. I've made more money on some other deals that allows me to pay more on deals like this. So it all evens out, and as long as I'm able to make money and I'm not going broke, it's okay. I just enjoy buying these and looking through them because you never know what you're going to find, variety or a key date. It does happen, and there's a couple new things I got. Some new silver certificates to add to the collection, and a nice $100 bill. So I've got about $150 in all this. So let me know in the comments what you think. I appreciate y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. I hope y'all have a great week, and happy collecting.